Well, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please feel free to subscribe, like, share, and welcome to my little YouTube family. For those who don't know, I'm just really like a vloggy lifestyle YouTuber. I love beauty products, skincare, makeup, and I'm also a mommy to almost a 2-year-old little girl. She's almost 2. She'll be 2 in August. I'm also going to be on my journey to TTC. And for those who don't know what TTC means, that is trying to conceive. And I just kind of want you new mommies out there, or mommies who have been mommies, or someone who's thinking of getting pregnant, or whatever the case might be. I just kind of wanted to give my story, tell you guys my story. That way you can understand going forward about my TTC. Okay? Okay. I am 27 years old and I have had 3 pregnancies, but I only have 1 earth baby here with me, Gianna. So I'll tell you guys my story, and every single pregnancy was just all different. So here we go. In the year 2013, which was I think 5 years ago, in the year of 2013, 5 years ago, I believe 4 or 5 years ago, I was pregnant with my very first pregnancy with my husband, but he then was my fiance. You know, everything was going smooth. Everything was great. We were so happy to be pregnant with our son, Nathan. That's what we named him. A very long story short, I was working every day at a medical office and everything was going great, as I said. I want to say when I reached around 22, 23 weeks, I was getting really bad cramping and belly pains. Almost like a menstrual period. Like, it felt so bad. But that being my first pregnancy, I didn't know that those were contractions. And I was about 22, 23 weeks. I obviously didn't think they were contractions because you're not supposed to really have a baby that early. I just assumed that my tummy was stretching. That's why I was getting so much pain. So I kind of like just went about my days working and going home and being in pain. I kind of just like kept pushing through. I remember one morning I woke up and I just felt wet. And I went to the bathroom and it was just like a bloody scene. It was blood everywhere, bright red blood. That's all I could really remember, and I just like lost it. My mom was with me. We rushed to the hospital. They really couldn't give me an answer as to what was going on. They did the whole ultrasound thing and everything looked fine. So they couldn't really give me an answer as to, and the baby looked great, as to what was going on. But I remember they measured him, and I remember them telling me he's about 1 pound. And I'm like, oh my God, I was so scared because I was like, obviously I don't want to deliver my baby right now at about 1 pound. He's nowhere near developed, and it was very scary. And I remember a few days have gone by and I was bleeding again and I was still in a lot of pain. Went back to the hospital, and the hospital that I live near was a great hospital, but they felt like I needed to be somewhere else that had a really good NICU in case the baby was born, that he would be taken care of. So I got transferred about 45 minutes away to a hospital, Yale New Haven Hospital. It's a very prestigious hospital. It's like amazing doctors. They have such an amazing NICU. I was like going on my 24th week, I believe. I'm sorry if the weeks are a little wrong because it happened a while ago and it was pretty fuzzy for me. Just because I was just so distraught and afraid. I get transferred to Yale, and I remember I was in so much pain, could barely speak, getting very bad contractions, and the doctors there examined me and did ultrasounds, found out that I had a spontaneous placenta abruption, which means my placenta was disattaching from the uterus, which was causing the bleeding, which was making it dangerous for me and the baby. So they thought that I was in such a horrible situation that the only option left was to deliver baby Nathan at 25 weeks, because at that time they did keep me in a hospital for a few days to try to keep him in, but my water had broke at the hospital, and long story short, they did amniocentesis, which is a really long needle that they stick in your belly, and they collect the fluid around the baby to see if there's an infection going on. And it turned out that the fluid around baby Nathan was getting bacteria. So they said, listen, I mean, you just reached 25 weeks and these are the chances of him living. And they just said a lot of stuff that I wasn't excited to hear. But he had a better chance at life being delivered at 25 weeks rather than staying in there. It just wasn't turning into a good situation. So they did an emergency C-section with baby Nathan. He was a strong little baby. He was 1 pound and 12 ounces, like a little bit bigger than my hand. I will insert a picture of baby Nathan so you can get an idea of how little he was. He was just so little, but so tough. A little 1 pound thing. I just couldn't believe how strong he was. So he was in a NICU for quite some time. He didn't need to be on a breathing machine, which they were very shocked because normally babies that little have to be on a breathing machine. He didn't have to. I was pumping breast milk, and he was actually taking in my breast milk from a little tube that they had to put in him. He was a very strong little baby boy. Like, if he taught me anything, I took from him to just keep on going. He was born on May 11th of 2013, and on May 20th, which I believe is 9 days later, my son had passed away, which was very tragic for me. Obviously, I fell in love with him. He was my kid, my son, and I felt so guilty I felt like everything was just my fault. But he passed away, being so little, it's hard to fight against sicknesses and everything like that, even though he was in the NICU and being taken care of very well. But he developed a blood infection, which eventually he fought for more than 24 hours to try to get through that, but his little body just couldn't take it. And that's when my husband and I decided to take him off of all the tubes and everything that he was on, and I held him until the very end. So that was my very first pregnancy. So the doctors recommended that I at least wait about 18 months before I considered to conceive again if I wanted to. So that was the year of May 2013. Now, almost 2 years later, or maybe a little over 2 years, I got pregnant again. In August of 2015, and I was super excited. We were so excited. 5 or 6 weeks in that pregnancy, I had a miscarriage. I had a miscarriage on our 1-year wedding anniversary, which was awful. At that point, my husband and I was like, maybe it's not in the cards for us right now to have a baby. So we were like, you know what, we're gonna just stop trying and just go on with life and just see what happens. So we had that miscarriage in September of 2015. The end of December into January 2016, I found out I was pregnant with my 3rd pregnancy, which is, thank God, my like rainbow baby Gianna, who is napping right now. I was afraid to be excited about being pregnant because I thought it would be taken away from me. So I kind of was so stressed out my whole pregnancy with Gianna. But ironically, looking back now, it was a smooth sailing pregnancy. In my situation, for every pregnancy I have moving forward, I always have to have a C-section because the way they cut me for baby Nathan with that placenta abruption, they had to cut me a little bit differently. So I always have to just have C-sections because I could be at risk for rupturing my uterus if I try to deliver naturally. I turned 35 weeks, which was August 24th of 2016, and she was a healthy baby. She was 6 pounds, 14 ounces, and 20 something inches, I believe. Gosh, I'm horrible, I can't remember this right now. And I just remember her being with me in the, room, and she was healthy, and I was just so thankful. But during my pregnancy, once I reached 16 weeks being pregnant with her, every week after that, I had to get a progesterone injection in my butt once a week. Basically, progesterone helps the pregnancy, prolongs your pregnancy, kind of keeps the baby in a little bit longer. So every time I get pregnant in the future, I also have to be on progesterone shots every week until I have the baby once I turn 16 weeks. So I delivered a beautiful, happy baby. Gianna, she's healthy, she's amazing. I love her so much, and I thank God for her every single day, because I didn't think it was possible. So for you mommies out there who are struggling to try to get pregnant or have had complicated pregnancies, just take it day by day, because I was in a position where I thought I couldn't have a baby, and look at me, my third pregnancy, I had a baby and everything worked out. It's all God's plan. TTC. Now for the TTC part moving forward. My daughter's going to be 2 next month on August 24th, 2018. And we are thinking about getting pregnant in the fall. So trying to start conceiving maybe end of August into September. We only want 2 children. So if we get pregnant again, I think we're pretty much done. 2 is more than enough for us and our family. And I am going to be recording and having videos of everything, of my journey with this 4th pregnancy that I will possibly be having soon. So at the moment, I'm kind of just like preparing my body. I have started taking prenatal vitamins. Want to have you new mommies out there, or you ladies out there who are trying to conceive, you guys can follow me. We can try to do this together. You can kind of see where everything is going to take me. I'm like nervous and excited, but honestly, I think this time around, if I get pregnant, I'm just going to leave it in God's hands and go with the flow, because I can't change the end result, you know what I mean? So I'm going to try to enjoy this next pregnancy when and if I do get pregnant within the next couple of months. Hope this video finds you well, helps you in any way, shape, or form. Look out for more videos. Please like, share, subscribe. I would love you to join my little YouTube family. And until next time, bye guys. Mwah.